Sony Ericsson's Xperia X10 has been a long time coming, and now it's here. It's a little disappointing that it's only packing Android 1.6, but like the majority of Android smartphones in the same predicament, we're told this will get an upgrade in the near future. So until that time, the X10 misses out on interface and browser improvements, a better keyboard, camera with flash, and built-in support for Exchange email. Now it's worth noting this is a pre-production model, so we won't judge it too harshly. Okay, so one of the first noticeable things about the X10 is it is a beast of a handset, a little reminiscent of a remote control, especially when compared to the Xperia X10 mini range. Now it loves fingerprints too, so you have been warned. Now, there's a beautiful 4-inch screen, which is actually the biggest on an Android smartphone to date. And sadly, it's not OLED, but it's pretty vivid with an 854 by 480 pixel resolution. And at 13mm thick, the X10 is pretty slick, and despite the screen taking up the majority of the phone, there's some hard keys at the bottom and along the side for extra assistance. Okay, so two major features of the X10 are the Timescape and Mediascape applications, which are crucial elements to the UX user interface, Sony Ericsson's Android overlay. Now, unlike HTC's Sense UI, which is all about home screens and widgets, although that is still an option, it is Android after all, Timescape is more concerned with giving you an aggregated view of your phone's entire history in animated 3D tiles and in chronological order. Now, you can opt to view everything, and I mean everything from emails to social network activity to text messages to missed calls, but that much information can be a bit overwhelming, so you can filter it down to single feeds such as Facebook only, Twitter, emails, tracks played. It's a great selection of feeds and makes it dead easy to keep on top of your mates or find information quickly, but it can run a little slowly at times dealing with that much information. But again, just to reiterate, this is a pre-production model. But that's not all from Timescape. On each tile, you'll notice a flashing symbol known as the infinite key. Tapping this will pull up information and activity around that contact. So it's all about pulling on and offline stuff together. Now, it takes a while to set up, but it is definitely worth it. Then there is Mediascape for quick access to music, video and photos stored on the phone and online. Now the infinite key applies here too, so for example if you click on a track you've been playing, the X10 will pull together content from your phone and the internet relevant to that artist. From YouTube videos to Google search results, it will even suggest top tracks, albums and will recommend tracks based on what you're listening to. Now Play Now is the only music service supported at the moment, but rumour tells us a Spotify plugin is in the making. Now, tapping on the More button next to each media option simply presents you with a traditional menu layout that's filtered by categories, tailored around what you're looking at. So if it's videos, you can look at your recently viewed videos, recently added and favourites. And if it's music, for example, you can filter it down to artists, favourites, albums and so on. So not only do the Mediascape and Timescape applications give the X10 a very unique edge, but they ensure that you're always connected and never miss a thing. So moving on, and scrolling is pretty speedy on the X10. That's giving a covert nod to that 1 GHz Snapdragon processor sitting pretty underneath. Now sadly it misses out on the acceleration features of Android 2.0, so it's just not as snappy as say the Google Nexus 1, but generally you'll be able to whiz around menus, whiz around the phone without being stifled by delays. That is until you want to type in landscape mode. The accelerometer is very slow to respond, but again, let me reiterate, it is a pre-production model and hopefully is something that Sony Ericsson is working on right now. So moving on to its other features, and the X10 is pretty accurate when it comes to texting, and the screen size definitely helps. The screen also bodes well for multimedia, and I think you'll agree, videos look absolutely amazing. Web browsing on the Dolphin browser is not too shabby either. It's fast and responsive and looks very good on the 4-inch screen. Now Sony Ericsson has a great reputation when it comes to cameras, and the X10's 8-megapixel camera with autofocus is testament to this, although the missing Cybershot touch is definitely noticeable as pictures just aren't as sharp as they could be, and this isn't helped by the lack of flash. But there are a range of scenes and modes that you can sink your teeth into. As you'd expect, the X10 packs a GPS and Google Maps. There's also a trial version of Wise Pilot pre-installed, but you'll need to pay the £60 annual subscription fee to carry this on. That is at least until Google's free sat-nav arrives in the UK. Now the X10's memory is expandable to up to 16 gig, plus you get an 8 gig card in the box. So Sony Ericsson's X10 offers a wonderful touchscreen experience and may very well be Sony Ericsson's best handset to date. Now, its powers aren't quite strong enough to make Apple quake in its boots, but it is quite an impressive phone and a brilliant addition to the Android stable.